government agencies to provide updates on their mandates, programs, and projects, and also to engage the Ghanaian media on various other issues. This morning, we are honored to receive the Minister for Youth and Sports, who is here with a very powerful delegation to provide updates on Ghana's preparation towards hosting the 13th African Games, Sports and Youth Development. But before I yield to the Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to acknowledge some dignitaries who are with us this morning. We are joined by the Executive Chairman of the Local Organizing Committee of the African Games, Dr. Kweku Ofosu Asare. We also acknowledge all the LOC members who are here this morning. Also with us is the President of African Paralympics, Mr. Samson Dean. We are also joined by the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Alex Asante. Also with us this morning is the Secretary General, Association of African Sports Confederation, Mr. Imad Mustapha Hamza El Banani. I would also like to acknowledge all directors who work at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Also with us is the Board Chair, National Sports Authority, Mr. Seth Pawum. We are also joined by the President of the Ghana Olympics Committee, Mr. Ben Nunu Mensah. Also with us this morning is the Director, Winneba Sports College, Mr. Noah Bukari. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have with us the Chairman of GALCA, Mr. Kujo Fiano. We are also joined by the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority, Honorable Pius Enam Hajide. Also with us this morning is the Director General, National Sports Authority, Professor Peter Chumesi. We are honored to receive the Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development at the African Union, Ambassador Minata Samante Sesuma. Also with us is the President for Association of African Sports Confederation, Major General Ahmed Nasser. We are also joined by the Treasurer, National Olympics Committees of Africa, Engineer Habu Ahmed Gamel. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have with us this morning the Chief Director at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Mr. William Kate. We are also joined by the Honorable Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, who is also the Member of Parliament for the good people of Asnafo North Constituency, Honorable Evans Opoku Bobie. And as I mentioned earlier, we have in the house my big brother and mentor and Member of Parliament for the good people of Yagaba-Kubori constituency, who is also the Minister in charge of Youth and Sports, Honorable Mustapha Ussif. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will yield to the Honorable Minister for his presentation, and then we will come back and also take the Commissioner's comments and later have the Q&A session. Honorable Minister, your audience.
Thank you so much, my sister, the Deputy Minister for Information, Hajia Fatih Abubakar. Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, my brother and my able hardworking Deputy Minister, Honorable Ivanso Pokubobie, Deputy Minister for Information, Honorable Fatih Abubakar, the Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development, Ambassador Minata Samati Sisuma, who happens to be the chairperson for the Accra 2023 African Games, the LOC Executive Chairman, Dr. Kokufu Suasare, the Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Emmanuel Osu Asare, the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Rex Brube, the Major General Naza, my father, who is the President for the Association of African Sports Confederation, the GOC President, Mr. Benunu Mensah, the Board Chair of the National Youth Authority, the National Sports Authority, and other board members, the CEO of the National Youth Authority, Mr. Pius Henam Adide, the Director General for the National Sports Authority, Professor Chumesi, staff of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and also staff of the Ministry of Information, friends from the media, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. It is a great honor to be here once again to make a presentation to the press and the entire country on the updates of Ghana's preparation towards hosting the 13th African Games, Accra 2023, sports and youth development in Ghana. Before I proceed, I wish to indicate that I'm supported here by my able Deputy Minister, Honorable Ivanso Pokubobie, the Chief Director, Mr. William Kate, the Chief Executive Officer of National Youth Authority, Mr. Pius Enam Hadide, the Director General of the National Sports Authority, Professor Peter Chumesi, the Director for Winneba Sports College, Mr. Noah Bukari, the President of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Kate Edwin Okreku, the Ghana Olympic President, Mr. Benunu Mensah, the Executive Chairman of the Local Organizing Committee of the 13th African Games, Dr. Kweku Ofosu Asare, the Commissioner I mentioned earlier of the AU for Health, Humanitarian and Social Affairs Development, who also happens to be the chairperson of the Technical Committee for the African Games. She's here with us to also respond. She has done inspection and she will be here to support me. All other members are here to answer questions that will be asked after my presentation. The outline of my PowerPoint presentation will include the mandate of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, policies and legislations, the 13th African Games, sports development, youth development, and the way forward. Honorable Deputy Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the mandate of the ministry is to initiate and formulate youth and sports policy, as well as coordinate and evaluate the efficiency, the effectiveness of the performance of the sector to achieve national integration and international recognition. This, I believe, with my able team, we are on the right course. Policies and program. The National Sports Policy and the LI for the Sports Act 2016, Act 934. The ministry is in the process of drafting a national sports policy. The policy, when finalized, will serve as the bedrock for all sporting and physical activities with the necessary collaboration for the achieving of the policy goals and outcomes. A draft of the policy is available and awaiting finalization. A draft legislative instrument for the Sports Act 2016 at 934 is earnestly being worked on. Pre-laying of the draft LI has been done and currently at the Attorney General Department for finalization before the final laying in Parliament. The National Anti-Doping Bill. As part of the preparation towards hosting an organization of the 13th African Games, Accra 2023, The bill of establishing National Anti-Doping Agency has been prepared. Furtherance to that, a consultative meeting was held on the 24th of June 2022 to solicit views and opinions from all stakeholders into the draft bill. Currently, the draft is at the Attorney General Department for finalization. The ministry has broadened the scope of the youth sensitization on the bill and also anti-doping issue clean sports in the second cycle schools from 3 schools to 8 schools. The president of the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, Mr. Witold Banka, paid a 3-day working visit to Ghana to help strengthen anti-doping in the country. His visit was also to help facilitate the establishment of anti-doping agency in Ghana. Ghana to host and organize the 13th African Games, Accra 2023. The aim of hosting and organizing the 13th African Games the main aim of hosting and organizing the 13th African Games is to use sports to achieve national and continental goals, especially to contribute to Ghana's transformational agenda and the African Union Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, and also to improve sports infrastructure deficiency in the country, and lastly, to position Accra as a sports hub in West Africa. Resolution of challenges. The long-standing impasse between the African Union, the Association of the National Olympic Committee, the Association of the African Sports Confederation has been resolved amicably. The resolution reached after a series of meetings made by government of Ghana. Stakeholders have since signed negotiated agreements on the management and organization of the African Games, making it a significant milestone in the planning of the 13th African Games. The signing took place on the February 19th, 2023 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, through the intervention of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ghana secured the necessary funding from Afrexim Bank to complete the infrastructure for the project. Provision of sports infrastructure, the hybrid model. Work is currently ongoing at the 2 different locations with 3 number EPC contractors. A hybrid model was adopted to provide the required sporting infrastructure at the University of Ghana campus and Baltimore due to the delay in the planning process and project cost consideration. The EPC contractors include Marseille's Contractor Construction UK Limited, which is the contractor working at the Baltimore site, Marseille's Consa Limited, the contractor working at the University of Ghana campus, and Marseille's Mahomes Limited, also the contractor working on the Games Village at the University of Ghana. Sports code for the 13th African Games, Accra 2023. In all, 22 sports disciplines will be competed in, out of which Olympic qualifiers will be 7 and non-Olympic qualifiers will be 15. 7 sport disciplines will be used as a demonstration sports. The Olympic qualifiers sports are badminton, cycling, swimming, table tennis, triathlon, and wrestling. The non-Olympic qualifiers you can see on the screen: arm wrestling, athletics, beach volleyball, boxing, cricket, football, handball, hockey, judo, karate-do, rugby, volleyball, weightlifting, basketball, taekwondo, and we have demonstration sports. We have esports, martial arts, speedball, sambo, tech ball, Scrabble, and pickleball. So these are the demonstration sports that will be showcased during the games. Provision of sporting infrastructure. The major facility currently ongoing at Baltimore by Marseille's Contractor Construction UK Limited comprises the following: a 100-seater competition swimming pool, and that is 10-lane competition swimming pool, 8-lane warm-up pool, a 1,000-seater multipurpose hall for games like basketball, table tennis, boxing, badminton. And we have 500-seater multipurpose hall for handball, volleyball, judo, and other indoor games. We are also developing a 5 tennis courts, which will comprise 1 center court complex with a permanent covered spectator stand for 1,000 seats, including 20 VVIP viewing seats, and 4 tennis courts with benches, 1 6-lane athletic track with benches for coaches and athletes, 1 international FIFA standard training field, 1 space for children playing ground, administrative block, equipment associated with the infrastructure development, and furniture. New dates for the 13th African Games. Following the resolutions of the impasse, the 13th African Games Local Organizing Committee, led by Dr. Kokufosu Asare, organized a press briefing to announce the new dates for the Games as 8th to 23rd March 2024. The schedule for the Games are as follows, and you can see them on the screen. Arrival of athletes and officials from 5th to 7th March 2024. Opening ceremony will be done on the 8th of March 2024, and closing ceremony will be done on the 23rd of March 2024. Departure of athletes will be on the 24th of March 2024. And you can see progress of work on the screen. You can see the conceptual design and the evidential photos of progress of work at the various infrastructure on the screen. This is the University of Ghana, Stadium, and we have medical dome, which I'll come to it under the distance. This is where the dining facilities and the medical domes will take place. Okay. So you can see the University of Ghana Stadium there, and also other infrastructure on the screen. This is how it will look like when finished. The construction is currently ongoing at the Botiman site, and this is how the bedrooms are going to be like. And we are developing the hostels at the University of Ghana to serve as the Games Village. And this is part of the construction currently ongoing. Benefits of hosting the Games of the 13th African Games. Financial benefits. For the 2 weeks period, Ghana is estimated to have over 2.5 billion TV and online viewing audience. It will also give opportunity for us to strengthen our currency, that's the Ghana cedi, because most of these participating, all the 55 countries that will be participating in their African Games, their teams are going to come here and they will be using our local banks here to ensure that they transfer their currencies that they will be, or the money that they will be using during the Games, and this will go a long way to strengthen our currency. We also have foreign direct investment inflows, the construction of hostels and hotel facilities. Once we finish this sports complex at the university at Botima, we intend to ensure that we have hostel facilities and hotels around these facilities. And this will, under the PPP arrangement that we'll be doing, to position Botima as a sports hub. And Accra as a sports hub, as I said, is one of our aims of hosting the Games. It will also, those facilities will serve as recreational centers for our country. And Ghana will also save money in terms of pre-tournament campaign for our national team. As you are all aware, we have more than 50 federations, and these federations, when they have national championship and international championship, whether continental or global, they will have to camp and prepare. And once we have all these facilities, they don't have to go anywhere again. they will have facilities to prepare themselves so that when they represent our country, they can win us medals and laurels. We have socio-economic benefits. In the long term, the sports facilities will be converted into the University for Sports for Development, and this will attract students from both within our country and international students. Potential of frequent hosting of international games by our federations. I mentioned we have almost 50 federations, and day in, day out, they keep on knocking at my doors for us to give them opportunities to host events. Once we have these facilities, we'll give them more opportunity to host continental events, and it will bring in traffic of sports tourism into our country. Potential of development of sports career and specialization of professionals. These African Games is going to also position us to get most of our professionals to also have specialization. For example, the medical field, you have people who will also now be getting opportunity to learn and also to specialize in sports medicine so that going forward they can also have opportunities in other continental and global sporting events. Transfer of knowledge during the games and also promotion of our local culture, which is very important. The games will also unearth talent, and the games will inculcate the spirit of volunteerism among the youth. During the games, we'll be engaging more than 2,000 volunteers. And once we are going to engage these volunteers, they are going to go through training, and they to inculcate the spirit of volunteerism among these young men and women who will be given opportunity during the games. Hosting and organization of the 2023 African Para Games. The 2023 African Para Games will be the first edition of the African Para Games and will be hosted in Ghana from the 3rd to 12th September 2023. And these games, this will be the first time that Ghana, in the whole African continent, that we are organizing a separate Para Games aside the main African Games. Because most of the games that we have organized in the past, during the games, the Para Games would be done during the games. But this time, Ghana is going to give opportunity to the Para this team to organize the games separately. And it will be used as a test case for the main games, which will come in March next year. The trade sports code that will be participated in are 22 by 22 countries, amputee football, wheelchair basketball, and wheelchair tennis. An expected number of participants for the games, and I'm talking about the Para Games, will be about 1,314, and this will include athletes, confederation heads, and volunteers. So thank you so much, the president of the Africa Para team, Mr. Samson Dean, for this wonderful work that you and your team are doing, and also the Ministry of Youth and Sports staff. I mean, let me use this opportunity to appeal to corporate Ghana and the corporate world to support and sponsor most of these games, especially the Para Games and the African Games. Promotion of green games. The 13th African Games will be adopted as a green game strategy, which will focus on reduction of waste, emission, water conservation, sustainable transportation, and recycling. So we are, as a country, we have decided with the Technical Committee for the African Games that this game should be a green game strategy. And the green games means that we need to make sure that climate change are now becoming emerging issues, and we can't organize this mega sporting event in our country without considering green issues. This strategy will aim to make the event a model of sustainability and environmental friendly, showcasing our commitment to creating a positive impact on the environment whilst hosting a world-class sporting spectacle. By adopting eco-friendly practices, renewable energy source, and community, so in the construction process, we've asked the contractors to ensure that they use renewable energy mix in their construction in the provision of these sporting facilities. And we envisage leaving a lasting legacy of environmental consciousness for the future generation. International engagement. Team Ghana will be participating in the 2023 World Athletic Championship, which will take place in Budapest and Hungary from 19th to 27th August. And the team is currently preparing to represent our country in Budapest. The top Commonwealth Games. Team Ghana successfully participated in the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, UK from the 27th July to 8th August 2022 and won a total of 5 medals comprising 2 silver and 3 bronze. Abraham Mensah and Joseph Comey won silver medals each in boxing in the bantamweight and the featherweight respectively. Abdul Wahid Umar, lighterweight, picked a bronze medal, and Joseph Paul Amo and Deborah Akwa won bronze medal each in the 200 meters and long jump respectively in athletics. World Cross-Country Championship. Ghana made a history at the World Cross-Country Championship held in Bathurst in Australia from the 16th to 19th February 2023. William Amponsa placed 41st out of 1,000 athletes with time of 32 minutes. And in the female race, Abdullah Ramatu placed his second out of 1,000 athletes with time of 32.27 seconds. National cross country. The National Sports Authority successfully organized the 2023 edition of the National Cross Country on the 25th of February 2023 at Savulga in the Northern Region, and a number of promising talents were identified for further grooming and training in the preparation towards Ghana hosting and participation in the 2023 African Games. William Amponsa once again cemented his position as the current king of Ghana cross-country event when he clinched the first position in the male category. Bowling. Festus Annan and John Glee won medals of merit at the African Development Bowling Championship held in South Africa from 14th to 20th February 2023. Festus had the best cumulative points, whilst John was recognized for his sterling performance as a first-timer. Fencing. The national fencing team won a total of 16 medals comprising 2 gold, 6 silver, and 8 bronze medals at the 2023 Cadet Junior African Fencing Championship held at the Trust Emporium in Accra here from 15th to 21st February 2023. Para Championship. Ghana Junior Para Athletes Benedict Opoku Abebrese won gold medal in the long jump event at the 2023 Para Championship jointly organized by the South African government and Commonwealth Sports in South Africa from 14th to 18th March 2023, and the championship was meant to prepare the Africa Para athletes adequately towards the 2023 Trinidad and Tobago Commonwealth Youth Games slated for next month. Weightlifting. Winifred Ntumi won the 3 medals comprising 1 silver, 2 bronze at the African Senior Weightlifting Championship held in Tunisia from 11th to 20th May 2023. The event was one of the qualifiers for Paris 2020, for the Olympics Games in Paris 2024. Cycling. The 3rd edition of the 3FM Tour du Ghana event was organized by 3FM in collaboration with the Ghana Cycling Federation and the Ministry of Youth and Sports on the 20th May 2023. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to the media houses here and those who could not make it here to collaborate with our federation in organizing some of this championship in our country. Over 120 cyclists rode from Accra West Hill Mall to Cape Coast Chapel Square in Central Region. This is an annual competition to test the skills and potential of riders in Ghana. Freeman Poha from the Die Hard Cycling Club emerged as the winner for the championship. Arm wrestling. The Ghana Arm Wrestling Federation hosted the 12th African Arm Wrestling Championship in Accra from the 21st to 24th July 2023 at Nat Hall. The Golden Arms of Ghana was adjudged the overall winner with 132 medals. The championship was a qualifier for the African Games. 18 countries from Africa competed in the championship, including Ghana. Swimming. Ghana #1 swimmer Abieku Jackson put up a splendid performance to win gold and a silver medal in the 100-meter butterfly and 50-meter butterfly with a time of 53.89 seconds and a 24.08 seconds, respectively, at the Ghana Senior African Championship held in Tunisia from 20th to 25th August 2022. Youth Chess Championship. Africa Under-8 Youth Chess Championship. Joshua Obiri Yeboah Tando won a silver medal of Africa Under-8 Youth Championship. And you can see him being crowned at Zambia, Lusaka, from the 10th July, 2nd July to 10th July 2022. World 2023 Special Olympic Games. Ghana participated in the 2023 Special Olympic Games in Germany. Lore Maria Zalo won the silver medal in 200 meters and 1 bronze medal in 100 meters. Comfort Edinkra won bronze medal in table tennis. Sandra won bronze medal, which is Ghana's first medal in table tennis in the history of the Special Olympic Games. Over 170 countries competed in the 26 sporting discipline. Capacity. The National Sports College, in collaboration with the Sports for All Association Ghana, organized a basic fitness instructor course for 21 participants from 26th to 30th March 2023. Now, youth development. The youth capacity development, launch of the 2022-2032 National Youth Policy and Implementation Plan. The 2022 National Youth Policy by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on the 12th of August 2022 at the first National Youth Conference held at Anakazo, Ekuapim-Mampo in the Eastern Region to climax the 2022 International Youth Day celebration. The maiden annual National Youth Conference was held to coincide with the commemoration of the last year International Youth Day and the launching of the National Youth Policy. The conference attracted 500 participants from across the country to express their views on the prevailing youth development issues and exchange purposeful ideas as a way of encouraging the youth to take active part in national discourse. Commonwealth youth participation. The authority facilitated the participation of 4 young people comprising 1 male, 3 female at the Commonwealth Youth Forum in Kigali, Rwanda from 19th to 21st June 2022. The Commonwealth Youth Forum is a usual side event of the biannual Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which offer young people the opportunity to deliberate and present youth perspective on topical issues and ideas of the Commonwealth nations. The National Youth Authority, through its Skills Towards Employability and Productivity STEP program, empowered 540 youth to benefit under the program through apprenticeship training, provision of startups in cosmetology, hairdressing, dressmaking, satellite dish installation in 25 selected districts across the 16 regions of Ghana. The National Youth Authority, under its program Youth Youth Agri-Enterprise Support Project has achieved the following: 200 young people in the Sunafo North provided with skills and knowledge in mushroom cultivation, and 50 young rice farmers provided with good agronomic practice at Sankore in the Sunafo South District. 17,873 adolescents reached and sensitized with adolescent sexual and reproductive health information in Tamale, Birim, Central, Nkranza North, Wenchi, Atebebu, Amantin District. 1,000 students of Ola Senior High School in Kenyasi, in Ahafo region, were educated on courses detection and prevention of cervical cancer. As part of the launch of the National Youth Volunteer Program in April 2022, the National Youth Authority has rolled out 3 models: youth in development work, gender mainstreaming, and also infrastructure volunteers in some selected communities in Ghana. In line with the empowerment process, an orientation and training workshop was held in Kofodua from 13th to 17th September for the 2 badges. 458 prospective volunteers drawn from 16 countries of the country equipped them with requisite skills and mindset training for their assignment to their respective communities across the country. National Youth Volunteer Program. The capacity of 60 youth influencer volunteers have been built in communication and advocacy skills on adolescents' sexual reproductive health in the Upper East and Upper West regions of Ghana, and the gender mainstreaming model. That's under the gender mainstreaming model. 52 volunteers are currently under the youth development work model, complementing staff strength of the National Youth Authority at the various offices across the country. 50 young volunteers renovated a dilapidated 6-classroom block and head teacher's office staff common room, ICT room built in Abome, in the eastern region of Abome community in the eastern region, under the infrastructure you built its model. Youth resource centers. The phase 2 of the 6 targeted youth resource centers are near completion, and from next month, I've been briefed by the National Youth Authority CEO and the consultant that will start commissioning, especially Azim, Dunkaofen, Doma, Hinkro, Wa, Kofodua, and Ho. These are almost done, and we are just about to commission them. The rest of the 4, and that is Navrongo, Enyinenini, Azuma Nelson, and Yendi. We'll be working on them very soon. The phase 2 will be starting. Some of them have already even started, and we are working hard to ensure that we get the average rate of completion is 92%, and we are working on them to get all the youth resource centers in place, and you can see the pictorial evidence on the screen. Ghana participation of the 2023 ECOSOC Youth Forum. During the 2023 ECOSOC Youth Forum, I highlighted the importance of Ghana's youth in achieving the Sustainable Development Goal. I emphasized on the government's commitment to empowering young people through various initiatives, including the National Youth Policy and the National Youth Volunteer Program. I also stressed the need for meaningful youth participation in decision-making process and called for financing mechanisms to support youth initiatives. I highlighted the significance of partnership with the United Nations to accelerate level action on youth, urging for resources, investment, and collaboration to drive the achievement of the SDGs. Ghana's proactive approach towards youth empowerment and development showcased Ghana's dedication to harnessing the potential of its young population for the nation's progress. American football introduction in Ghana. The Office of the Vice President, in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, has partnered the NFL for the introduction and development of African football, the American football in schools in Ghana. Through this partnership, the NFL have organized its first ever tournament in Africa, in Ghana, and also held a special development tournament in Ghana with 10 selected schools participated in, and with over 400 participants. Out of these, 10 young Ghanaians were selected to represent Africa at the 2023 NFL Pro Bowl in the United States of America, a special tournament which precedes the famous Super Bowl. And this is a remarkable achievement. And we are working vigorously to ensure that this new sports is introduced across the country. Remarkable young Ghanaian team which has just been introduced to the sports, and the team placed fourth behind the experienced participants such as USA, Australia, and Mexico. The partnership with the NFL continues, and later this year, a number of participation schools is expected to increase in the second edition of the development of NFL flag football competition, which will be also select the best players for the next year Pro Bowl in the United States. I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency the Vice President for his personal commitment towards this NFL project. Way forward, the finalization of the legislative instrument for the Sports Act 2016, Act 934, we are almost done with it, as I said, and the finalization of the anti-doping bill, the finalization of the national sports policy, the preparation of the legislative instrument for the National Youth Authority Act 939, the participation in mandatory local and international congress to promote youth and sports development, organization of technical courses, conferences, and workshops in various sporting disciplines, completion and handing over the facilities for the African Games by December 2023. All these facilities, we've gotten assurance from the contractors at the various 3 sites that by December, some of them will start handing over the facility. By December, all the facilities should be done so that it will give us opportunity to do testing of those facilities before March 2024 when the games will commence. The finalization of the sports policy and also the testing of the facilities, as I've said. Let me use this opportunity to thank Ambassador Minata and your team for coming to inspect the facilities. And yesterday, too, we had a workshop, a very fruitful workshop. And let me use this opportunity to appeal to corporate Ghana and the entire country to get involved in Ghana hosting the entire Africa. The 55 nations of our continent, all of them are going to be hosted here in Accra, and we are looking forward to a very fruitful and a very successful African Games. And I have no doubt at all that these Games is going to be one of the most successful and the best ever African Games. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, thank you so much for that insightful presentation. There were so many highlights looking at how broad and diverse the disciplines were. And just for the coverage, I would like to commend you for taking every sports discipline seriously. But one thing that was of interest to me was the new development at the University of Ghana Sports Complex. Because I remember as a student when I played handball for the University of Ghana sports team, and we had to go to the University of Ghana Sports Complex and Stadium in the year 2008 for the opening ceremony of the WAWUG. I kid you not, all we had was just the tracks and also the concrete that people were sitting on. And after 15 years, until recently, not much had changed. I'm excited that I have found a new bragging right to say that what President Kufuor started, President Akufo-Addo will complete it. And finally, to also highlight the sports infrastructure at Boteman. Minister, you mentioned that there is going to be a 100-seater competition swimming pool, a 1,000-seater multipurpose, 1,000-seater competition swimming pool, a 1,000-seater multipurpose hall, another 500-seater multipurpose hall, and 5 tennis courts, which is also a 1,000-seater court, and 1 6-lane athletics track. I believe if for nothing at all, this African Games is going to give us a lot of infrastructure that the country will benefit from beyond the tournament. On that note, I will invite Ambassador Aminata Samante Sesuma for her statement, and then we will come back to you, ladies and gentlemen, for your questions.
Good morning. I'm so impressed, my brother minister, for your presentation. I would like to clap Ghana for what you are doing in sport. Because without sport, we don't have healthy people. We need sport everywhere, and the contribution of sport in the development of our countries is so huge. I would like to congratulate you, my brother minister, and through you, the government of the Republic of Ghana, for what you are doing for youth. Because our young people, Africa is a very young continent, and without this youth, we cannot have the Africa we want. Thank you for that one. Honorable Ministers Fatuma and Evans, my brother Nasser just explained me, Minister, that he is going at the airport, that why you see him leaving. My brother Kwaku Ofosu Asare, thank you for what you are doing as a LOC. And also my brother of Anoka, my partners. And I would like to say sincerely thank you to Prest for being with us today. And I want to mention the people you presented, Minister, they are so important in the sport. I would like to congratulate all of you for what you are doing. And I would like, on behalf of the African Union Commission, as a commissioner in charge of sport, and on behalf of His Excellency Mustapha Mahamat, I wish sincerely to extend my gratitude to you, my brother minister, and through you, His Excellency Mr. President Nana Akufo-Addo and the people of Ghana for the warm welcome given to us since we arrived here in Accra. And also to salute the commitment of the government, the dedication and huge investment made in various sporting facilities to ensure that Ghana successful hosts the 30th edition of Africa Games in March 2024. You will all agree with me that games are important for our member states. It is the African Union is the owner of this game, but we cannot do it without our member state, and Ghana is an important member state of our country, and head of state decided to give to Ghana the possibility to us and also to contribute to build the Africa we want through the sport. The decision of this game was taken in 2019 but, by our leaders, the African Union leaders. And I'm not alone. We are organizing this game in collaboration, naturally, with Ghana, our host. Thank you to Ghana, and also with Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa, ANOCA. Thank you, my brother Gumel, and also Association of Africa Sport Confederation, UCSA, following an agreement we signed last February in Accra. You mentioned it, my brother, we have some challenges, but we could find solution. This is the more important, and we are moving forward to organize this game. The games, ladies and gentlemen, are a platform, a very important platform to showcase their skill and talent, to promote African cultural values, heritage, and integration, as well as promote social cohesion. You can see in many countries conflicts are going on, but if you have games, you will see country united to support the team. That one is a contribution for peace and security in Africa, and particularly the stability of our countries. The next edition of Ghana Games will attract many people here. You mentioned it, Honorable Minister. We will have more than 4,000 athletes who will be competing in many areas. And you mentioned them also, Honorable Minister, which is very important for us and for the continent. We are here we are visiting. I am here 1 week now in Ghana. But what I saw, the preparation of this game are going well. It is very important because the team, the technical committee for the African game I'm sharing visited the games facilities on Monday, and I was so impressed with the ongoing progress, my brother ministers, distinguished member of media, on the construction facilities. I know our countries, we have problem now, but seeing this kind of investment, we can say thank you to Ghana for that one. It is a commitment and engagement. If you are not engaged, you cannot put a lot of money to build this kind of facilities. Thank you to Ghana for that. And I was worried also. I asked my brother Kwaku what will happen to this investment after. I'm happy to see that university will be it will be part of university that will attract many Africans in Ghana, and that one is very important. I wish to take that opportunity to call our member state, African. I want you, press, to be my spokesperson, to ask our member state to cooperate with Ghana. Our partners also to cooperate with Ghana, to support Ghana to us a very, very successful games in March 2024. It is very important for us. African members, they have a owner of game. If they are not engaged, it might be difficult, but I count on you, press, to do the job for us. And also, the games, very important source of revenue, and we will use that platform also to attract our business people. It is very important. Private sector, they need to support also this game, and also to invite all institutions, businessmen and women, to express interest to be part of the game and work together with my brother Kwaku, the local organizing committee, to establish a strong partnership to support Ghana Games. African media, I used to say, you are a big partner for us because we cannot do without you, and I congratulate you and thank you for being with us this morning. This was very important because we need the promotion of Ghana Game. We are a little bit late, but with you, I'm quite sure we can have a big publicity of our games, and to see creating awareness and mobilizing many partners. And also our diaspora. I have a diaspora. We need them also to support us and to participate in this game. It is very important. It is our game. It is your game. It is the game of all Africa. And I count on your support to do the job for us. And I thank you for your kind attention. And my sincere excuse for my English. I'm from Burkina Faso.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for that brief but insightful remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly permit me to acknowledge some unions and individuals who joined us today. We have the head of sports at University of Ghana, Dr. Bello Bitugu, with us. Also with us are members of the Softball Federation of Ghana. We also have with us the Ghana Supporters Union. If you are here, we acknowledge you. And also I can see my brother and security analyst, Mr. Ibrahim Elbad. So, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open. The Honorable Minister and his team will take your questions. Kindly mention your name and affiliation and then proceed to ask your question.
Thank you, Hajia. My name is Abdul Hanan Adam. I work with EIB Networks GH1 TV. Mr. Minister, I'd like to find out from you why the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex, the redevelopment of the project, has stalled since 2020 till date, and to tie it in with the works at the Esipon Sports Stadium in 2nd. The Finance Minister in 2021 did indicate that work on the project was 90% complete, to which the Member of Parliament for the area, that is Honorable Joe Gatti, wrote a letter to both the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Finance Ministry to find out the actual state of works. My very last question has to do with grassroots football. In 2018, when President Akufo-Addo presented the State of the Nation address, didn't indicate that government is committed to investing money and building infrastructure for grassroots football, and specifically mentioned schools football. It's been 2 years down the line. We've not seen anything that has been done by government to revive grassroots football, most especially schools football. Kindly update us on those two issues. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, GH1. Please, we'll take the next question, but kindly stick to maximum 2 so that your colleagues will also get the opportunity.
My name is Kweku Zurich. I work with the Graphic Communications Group Limited in Accra. And my first question has to do with if the minister can provide us with an update or an estimate of the total cost of organizing the games. And my second question also has to do with the issue of bonuses owed to a coach of the national team, the Black Stars, who was fired 2 years ago. He's owed 7 months' salaries, and it has not been paid 2 years. By his predecessor, Milovan Rajevac, has been paid off, and he's gone. I want to know what the hold-up is there.
Thank you for the questions. We can take 3 more, and then, okay, I can see 2 hands at the back.
Hello, I have 2 questions.
Please, your name and media house.
I'm Prince, Happy FM.
Okay.
Thank you. Mine is on the plans for preparation ahead of the 2023 African Games in terms of Team Ghana winning medals, because I've heard the LOC chairperson constantly refer to it that the president of the land wants Ghana to host this competition and win medals, not medal, but medals. So I want to know plans ahead of the preparations. Then the last one, I want to find out from the minister if the 2022 FIFA World Cup money is in, and if it's in, what are the plans? Thank you.
Thank you for the questions, Mr. Lanson.
Thank you very much. My name is Musa Lansa with the EIB Network. In all the presentation, I was waiting to hear something about our national football teams. For some time now, it's very difficult to get excited when our national football teams are playing, from the under-17 to the senior national team. They get kicked out either at the group stages or when they even struggle to cross to the next stage. They get kicked out. what specific plans are we putting in place, or measures are we putting in place to ensure that in the next 5 years, just like the Moroccans did, the national teams would give us some excitement, such that we get excited whenever there's a tournament coming up? For now, I'm not sure we are in any, we've qualified for any tournament. The only tournament we're looking out for is the AFCON and then the World Cup for the senior national team. For the junior teams, I don't know what's happening. And secondly, astroturfs are being constructed across the country. But technically, I understand when it comes to the growth of talents, especially in football, the astroturf, that's the artificial turfs, are not a very good space for the footballers to grow. What policies do we have for the springing up of these astroturfs across the country? Thank you.
Thank you. If there is any hand up, this is the best time to... Okay, I can see someone's hand at the back. I take that to be the last question, and then we will invite Honorable Minister for his response.
Yeah, my name is Wallace from MGL. I want to know the latest on...
Kindly...
My name is Wallace from MGL. Okay. I want to know the latest on the sports bill. Again, I've seen some videos flying around indicating that it looks like Ghana want to bid for a World Cup in the future around 2050 or something. Whether that is very authentic.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the questions. I will invite Honorable Minister back to give us his responses.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Minister. The first question has to do with the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex. Why is the redevelopment stalled? You know, in my presentation, I said we started 10 youth resource centers across the country, and those 10 was done in phases. So the 10 of them, the first phase was awarded at the same time. They were all at almost 90%, above 90% complete. Then I was appointed. The second phase have been awarded, but we had financial constraint. We couldn't have, and most of the contractors for the first phase were not also the contractors for the second phase. So we had challenges. So we needed to do audit, and we have done the audit where we had contractors who were awarded with the first phase and the second phase. We asked them to continue. But where we had challenges, we asked them to hold on so that we finish the audit so that we can ask them to do the second phase. So far, thanks God, I mentioned that 6 of them are almost done. Azim, Kofodia, Ho, Dunkofen, and Wa. All these 6 are almost done. We are just about completing them. Azuma Nelson will be the second phase for Azuma Nelson, and Yini, Yendi, and Navrongo. The National Youth Authority, which is the funding institution, have assured me the second phase, the contractors will move to site very soon for the second phase. And let me assure the entire country that none of them is going to be left behind. We are going to work on them. On the Sipon Sports Stadium, yes, what the finance minister said was for the first phase. The renovation works once again was done in phases. The first phase was above 90% complete, as the finance minister said. So when the MP of the area raised the issue, we also responded by indicating that it was for the first phase. The second phase has been given to the contractor to finish, and the contractor has since moved to site. And you all understand that we needed to go through some procurement bureaucracy before we get the contractors to move to site. So we've gone through that hurdle, and the contractor is currently on site. So be rest assured that Sipon Sports Stadium will be completed and it will be put to good use. On the grassroots football development, yes, the President mentioned rightly by saying that the focus of government now is to shift from promoting sports to sports development. And if we have to do that, then we need infrastructure. And that is why before his assumption, we had only 2 AstroTurf in the country. As we speak today, we have almost 136 sports infrastructure across the country. And this is something that everyone can attest to. This sports infrastructure across the country will be given opportunity for the coast football. I've also, through myself and the Ghana Football Association, I led them to secure funding from KGL for juvenile football. And I know why people are saying that they can't see anything. Because we have changed the name from coast football to juvenile football. People don't even know that when the juvenile football are playing, they are the same thing as coast football. For your information, nothing has been stalled. The coast football is still ongoing, just that we have rechristened it to juvenile football. And you can attest to it. The FA is here, represented by Alex Asante, and they can respond to that. Aside that, we're also doing school sports. School sports currently, last month, we saw what happened in Kumasi, and also what happened in the various regions. We have inter-school sports competition. And for your information, FIFA has also donated over 30,000 football. 30,000 football, and it's going to be, it was launched recently, and we are going to do the distribution, get physical education teachers across the country, so that once we distribute this football to the schools, at least they will have people to train them to play. I've said it time and again that the most important item when it comes to football development is the football itself. The people should have access to the football, and that is why this intervention by FIFA is very, very good. We've launched the 1 million football strategy. The whole strategy that the ministry launched, the 1 million football strategy, was to raise football so that we can distribute to children, so that they can have access to the football, the most important item when it comes to football, so that they can develop themselves. So let me use this opportunity to appeal to individuals, corporate Ghana, and the media, you yourself, to start donating some of the football so that together we can go to the communities and start sharing football to children. On the cost for organizing the African Games, I cannot give you the total cost now, because as we are going, we have the software and we have the hardware. The hardware have to do with the construction of the facilities. Those one has been awarded, they are public information. Contractor UK, which is developing all the other sporting infrastructure, is $145 million. We have Legon Sports Facility. The rugby field is going to be the best rugby field in West Africa once it's completed. We also have, when it comes to African Games or Olympic Games, each facility that you are developing, you are going to do it too. So we are developing a warm-up track just close by the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, which is, by the requirement, it should be 5 meters away from the main bowl. So everything that you are doing it twice. The swimming pool, for example, we have swimming pool in the Trust Emporium, but it doesn't meet the international standard. Why? Because you have no warm-up pool. So this time, once we finish the 10-lane competition pool will be a world-class swimming pool. And Swimming Federation, or now called World Aquatic Federation, can organize their World Championship in Ghana once this facilities is done. And we are in touch with the World Aquatic Federation to do so. And apart from that, the multipurpose hall we are going to develop, once we finish all the other federations, indoor games, basketball, volleyball, handball, they will be organizing their championship. We will drive more traffic. That's why I said we are positioning Accra as the sports hub within the West Africa region. Aside this, why are we owing coaches? For your information, we have not paid, we still owe Milovan. All of CK Akono and Milovan, once their contract was terminated, we sat with them, negotiated their exit, and CK was paid $100,000 immediately after the negotiation, just as Milovan as well. We still owe both of them, and we are in the process. We have payment schedule, of which I will admit we have not been followed the payment schedule because of constraints of funds. But as and when we get funds, we'll be paying the two coaches. Both of them have written to the FA threatening to go to court. We have appealed to them that we are committed in making sure that we settle whatever that we have agreed with them. But both of them have received, just as CK and both of them have received $100,000 US. For the information, I want to clear the air. we have not finished paying Milo, the one we know, Milo. We have not finished paying him. Preparation towards winning medals. Yes, you can invest $145 million US in the provision of infrastructure. You are renovating Games Village. You are building the world-class rugby field. You are making sure that all our track are going to be certified by the World Athletic Federation. All these things are done. Then when they come to the competition, then we don't get medals. I know the media, you crucify the LOC and myself. So definitely we have appointed a chef de mission. And I saw him around, Danso, Enes Danso, who is now the African Game chef de mission, and the deputy, Mahad. Mahadi is the one of the deputies, and the other, Josephine of the National Sports Authority is the second deputy. So the three of them currently are working with the various federations to select Team Ghana. I understand the long list is currently being worked on, and very soon the long list will be submitted to the chef de mission. Then we can work on the short list as they go for campaign and be selected. And some of them I've mentioned already in my presentation, that the championship, they've done African Championship as a process of selecting Team Ghana. Then nothing was said in football. Anytime we come here and we do press release and meet the press, they will tell us that, hey, the ministry is now a ministry for football. Today we are here, we are talking of African games, of which other sports, the other sports, and they are saying, why not football? I mentioned football, and for your information, we are very committed to our national teams. It's unfortunate that we are putting a lot of investment in giving opportunity to the national teams to participate in qualification to international tournament. They do qualify, but when they get to the tournament, they don't perform as we wish. It is unfortunate, but we'll continue. Government is still committed in making sure that we support our national teams so that they can represent us. We are developing, like I said, focus on sports development, and the focus, we can't do all sports, but we'll do it. We can't give equal attention. We do equitable attention. We have our strengths. Where we have our strengths, we'll put in more resources. And football is one of the areas that we have huge strength. What is planned for football development? I've mentioned them. We are developing community sports facilities. We are making sure that development is through schools. FIFA have donated 30,000 footballs through the GFA, and the ministry is we have also launched 1 million football appeal. The whole idea is to share footballs to schools and children, to students and also children in various communities. And once we have a comprehensive football development plan, and I want you, the FA launched the football philosophy just last 2 weeks, and they work very closely with the ministry. We've developed the philosophy. The ministry is putting a composite plan in place where we can track the various development target tracks that we have identified. Updates on the sports bill. I don't understand, because we already have Sports Act. So if you are asking for update on the sport, if you are asking for the LI, I mentioned that we have done the pre-laying. The pre-laying is done. We have the Sports Act already at 934. The act is already passed in 2016. So if you are asking of sports bill, I don't know what question you were trying to ask. For the LI, the legislative instrument, we've gone through all the process, and the process is completed. We have done the pre-laying. We've met the Committee for Subsidiary Legislation. We've done all the pre-laying process. It's gone back to Attorney General for the final laying to be done. Hopefully the next Parliament, because Parliament is going to rise very soon, the next Parliament, once I'm in the next session, we'll make sure that it is laid. Then if it's about the sports policy, I'm just trying to answer, see whether I'll be able to answer you. If it's you are asking about sports bill, if it's the policy that you are asking, the policies are the final draft we did a broader consultation, and we consulted the media, sports companies, with all the federations. We are still open for comments and ideas, suggestions. We are still open because the document is not finalized, but it's at the final stage. So if it's about a sports policy, it's something that we are ready to receive. And I have my team here. If there's anything any of my team members want to respond, I can see the Galka chairman here, Mr. Kudiofiano. I can see LOC executive chairman is here. Director General for National Sports Authority is here. The CEO for the National Youth Authority is here. Noah Bukare also is here. My advisor, and also who happens to be the Director for Sports for University of Ghana, Dr. Bello, is also here. The GOC President, Benunu Mansa, is here. So you are in capable hands. We will be able to respond to all your questions. My able deputy is seated here. Thank you. So I've been asked to give my concluding remarks. What I want to say first is to thank the University of Ghana for the support and maximum cooperation that they've given to the LOC and the Ministry of Youth and Sports by allowing us to use the campus as the host village, where the whole university have agreed that they are going to give us period. We have agreed with them a period where it will not be interrupted from February. We'll have the university has given us the opportunity to have a period where from February all the way to May, there will not be any interruption for the games, so that we have opportunity to host the games. World Cup money, prize money, that I didn't answer the question. Sorry, it escaped me. Yes, we have received, the FA have written to the ministry that FIFA have transferred the prize money to the FA. They've written to us, and I've also written to my bosses. So my bosses are yet to respond. Once the response comes, we have precedent. In the 2006 World Cup, when the prize money came, there was portion that was given to the FA for sports development, infrastructure development, and you know what was done. And portion was sent to the consolidated fund. Then in 2010, again, the government invested in. When the prize money came, everything was taken by government. In 2014, when the prize money came, some was given to the FA for AFCON participation in 2015. So this time, we are just about going to AFCON. We also want to develop some sports infrastructure. The FA have written that they want to improve the infrastructure at Pram Pram. Yes, it's something that we need to get executive approval for. We have written, we've made various options available to my bosses to give me approval before we can communicate to the public. Thank you. Then the University of Ghana, I was thanking the University of Ghana, and let me also thank the LOC. The LOC from the executive chair all the way to all the members, Chief Operating Officer, Deputy Operating Officer, Dan Kweku Yabua, all the members, you've been committed. It's not an easy task. You have worked so hard. We are just at the final stage, and I expect that we work we will step on each other's toes until we get to the final closing ceremony. On that day, I'll hug all of you one by one once it is done. Then I also want to thank the Commissioner for AU, Health and Humanitarian and Social Development. She has been very instrumental in the success of these games. From day one when we had challenges, she has been a mother, encouraging us and making sure that we resolve our challenges. Our President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, personally intervened. We went to AU. He was there to ensure that the impasse challenge is resolved. President Faki, of the chairperson for AU, was personally involved, committed to ensure that Ghana hosts this game. We have never had opportunity of hosting the game since 1965. This is the first time Ghana is having the opportunity to do so. And I can assure you that under the able leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Ghana is going to host the best ever Green Games. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister, AU Commissioner, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my boss, Honorable Kojo Nkrumah, who is the Minister in charge of Information, Management and staff of our ministry, I would like to express our profound gratitude to you for making time for this very important exercise. I can see Mr. Ibrahim Eje from the Office of the President here. Thank you so much for coming. And to our media partners, especially GTV, thank you for always carrying our press briefings live. And to the social media team who is streaming on Facebook, we can only plead with our friends that you carry the good news to the good people of Ghana. I believe Honorable Minister and his deputy are also making the necessary arrangements for a media tour starting from Kumasi this afternoon. So kindly tune in and also send in your questions which you were unable to ask here due to time constraints. We are most grateful to you all. Good morning.